see, isn't it?
I love that Bruce acknowledges here that, hey, Scarecrow had me and I don't know how long I was affected by the toxin. I should wait to confirm if Jim is actually dead or not. Because I feel like way too often... Like, honestly, I feel like in... let's take Arrow, for example, on the CW. I hate Arrow for 2 reasons.
It wasn't Gordon.
1, they just made Oliver Queen Batman. 2, they kind of ruined Deathstroke's character. And 3, when I say they just made Batman, I mean, literally, they took the idea of Batman and just were like, what if Oliver Queen? I love doing this. Do they break through, or do I think I have to actually, like, open the door. Yep, there we go, and then I just... Now what are you gonna do, huh? Nothing?
You're gonna bleed out your face!
Am I? Nerd. I've been hit. You pay for that.
Listen,
Nerd.
no more tricks.
I enjoy Deathstroke as a character, but I also hate him as a character. So, I love Deathstroke as a character.
Oh, I can't wait.
I do not like the initial run of Deathstroke the Terminator. Now, here's why. I like Deathstroke when he is more anti-hero doing what he has to do for his family. You know, like in Deathstroke Knights and Dragons, which if you haven't seen is a phenomenal DC animated film, you should check it out. Deathstroke, I think, works best when he isn't intentionally just evil and doesn't have this, like, unnecessary, unfounded hatred for superheroes. Because at that point, he's no different than, like, Victor Saz with a super serum. And I don't like Deathstroke in Arrow because it is not Deathstroke at all. Like, that's not Slade Wilson. They made that character essentially... They made that character Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. And I don't like that you can interchange them and it changes nothing about either character. They also don't ever once touch on his family, which is the reason his eye is the way it is, because 9 times out of 10, it is because of his wife that he is missing an eye. In Teen Titans, that's the best Deathstroke they've made, though, so I don't... Are you talking about, like, why do you dislike him as a character? Because I think that was the best portrayal of Deathstroke that they've had. He's a mastermind, he's a tech genius, and he's smart about what he does, plus he's got the skills to back it up. Because I get it if it's just because of how evil he is that you don't like him. That's fair. I like villains. His actions towards Dick. So you mean, like, how he's kind of manipulating him and kind of, like, mentally breaking him? And kind of using him... Because overall, I don't know if this is a lot of things. This might be a hot take. Overall, I feel that Deathstroke was using the Teen Titans to get at Batman. That's fair, I guess, but that's exactly the kind of character Deathstroke is. And I like that kind of... He gets in your head more than anything. Because, like, a lot of villains can break your bones. It's very easy for a villain to get up on par and beat you up and fight you and everything like that. It is very difficult for a villain to psychologically break you, your friends, the audience... And Deathstroke nailed that perfectly, so I love that, because it was done in a way that I feel was enriching to the story. Because if he wasn't like that, that show would not have been nearly as good as it was.
Your precious police commissioner is just through the glass.
Is this bear the bane of his life? Oriso!
Harley's under strict instructions to kill the old man. If any of my guys
the Riddler
even see
map.
you're in the room.
And then Bane's teddy bear.
There. I've told them all you're on the way. So
like I said, love and hate his character. I love how his character is written, but I hate his action. That's entirely fair. That's just... You're not supposed to like villains like that. Like, I mean, for example, let's take an example that I have here. I love Red Hood as an anti-hero. Inarguably, he starts as a villain. Inarguably, he is a villain. That's the basic plot of any of the comics that he's in, is he starts as a villain. However, he's justified, you know what I mean? And like Slade in Teen Titans, not necessarily justified,
Joker's not messy.
but still doing it for a reason that you can respect.
Anyone gets near him, it won't be me carrying the can. No problem. Nothing.
It's not like he's just doing stuff for no reason like Joker. Where, like, that's where I kind of have a folly with Joker. Because he just does things.
Now go.
And, like, don't get me wrong, being a psychopath is a totally valid reason to do messed up things. Not that I support you doing messed up things, But it makes sense. You know, if you're a psychopath, you're going to do messed up things. So it's a valid reason, or motivation, rather. But that doesn't make him interesting to me. What makes a character interesting is motivation, and if they become relatable. Now let's just casually do all this stealth and get these guys out of the way, because I have absolutely no... I don't care. This is an easy stealth segment. That's not fair.
Kill the old man.
Why would he just turn around like that out of nowhere? That's so upsetting. I went to go read chat and didn't notice him turning around.
Worst.
Joker, I feel like, needs his run in the comics to end. Bro cannot keep coming back. We'll knock off William Afton. Knock off William. To be fair, that would make William Afton a knockoff Joker, because Joker came back first. But I get your point. Now, what I have to say on that topic is, there's a reason that Joker keeps coming back, and it's the same reason that Lex Luthor is never dead. Because he is the primary antagonist. He is the antithesis of what Batman is. Batman is law, order, reason, intelligence. Joker is insanity, chaos, and disorder. So the fact that they have that contrast is what makes him interesting to me. I don't think his motivations are interesting. I think him as a character is interesting. That's Harley, if that were true, you would not be down here in the first place. Still, I mean, yeah, as you should. He does horrible, horrible things. Do you know what? I believe this is canon. Do you want to know what his crime was before he got arrested in this one? Because it's really messed up. It's morbid. It's quite morbid. If I recall correctly, the crime that he got arrested for in the build-up to this game is that Joker took a class of I think this is correct. Took a class of children and sewed them together into a ball and claimed that he returned them in one piece.
So what was it that gave it away?
So that's a thing. There's also the Assault on Arkham episode, the Assault on Arkham movie.
I can stop him this time. You'll do it. Batman.
So there are multiple reasons for why this game started.
He's got something else down there.
Harley deserves much better. Well, so here's the thing about Harley Quinn as a character, right? I'm confused by her.
Be quiet.
Yeah, it's messed up. I'm confused by Harley Quinn as a character because of this reason. She isn't dumb. She's she's a doctor, she's a psychologist. She fell for a manipulator that she should have been able to textbook call out instantly. Hello, Bane. And it doesn't make sense, because she falls for every trap that she's supposed to help people avoid. Especially if you follow her route in Arkham Shadow, which is the VR game. Because she's actually a therapist in that game. But, continuing on that path, that's why I'm totally okay with the Harley and Poison Ivy runs that they're doing right now, and why I like when Harley joins the Bat family.
Sorry, has Bane. The good doctor won't be a problem much longer.
Now, I don't think she has to be a good guy, but I think she does work significantly better as a good guy. And also why Punchline is important to the comics right now, because she is more like somebody who will stand up to Joker but is still with him, and kind of makes Harley see that she used to be basically a gag character, and helps her become her own person. Now, if you want to talk about what I think is, she's actually, yeah, I know she was created for Batman the animated series. Trust me, if you name a fact about DC or Marvel, I guarantee I know it. Here's a good one. In The Dark Knight Returns, I believe Harley Quinn is basically fulfilling the role of, Leslie Tompkins. She's basically fulfilling the role of Leslie Tompkins in that one. Which is cool, in my opinion. And then, moving on to... What was I just talking about? Right. for the DC and Marvel, if you name a DC or Marvel fact, I guarantee I probably already know it. I hyper-fixate on them constantly. I wasn't paying attention. Damn. You know what? I'm gonna get that health back real quick. Aunt Harley is a really good name for that character trope for her, by the way. I enjoy that thoroughly. And it fits, because I can imagine her being like a babysitter for Damien. I just threw that guy down. I saved his life. I should not be speaking while also fighting Bane. This is... I've been slowly getting into X-Men. Is it because of X-Men 97? Or Deadpool Wolverine? That wasn't fair. I was in a cutscene. Or Deadpool and Wolverine, because both of those are very good reasons to start getting into the characters. I personally am of the opinion that there has never been a good X-Men movie. I wasn't paying attention again. I'm not taking any of these guys seriously. I don't even have... You know what? Hold on. I should get the combo moves. Get them out of the way. Both X-Men and both X-Men 97 and Deadpool and Wolverine. That's entirely fair. Those are both phenomenal reasons to get into them. I have always, in terms of X-Men, I have always been a Magneto, Wolverine, Beast, and Colossus fan. Those are my favorite X-Men. I love Gambit too. Gambit's amazing, and Channing Tatum as Gambit is absolutely one of the best variations. I refuse to acknowledge Deadpool as a member of the X-Men because he is not an X-Men. He is a mutate, not a mutant. Which is exactly why he cannot be an X-Man, but is part of the X-Force. Which also, that's a fun fact, if you can get your hands on it, play the Deadpool game for PS4, not the PS3 version, the PS4 version. It's significantly easier to handle and play. It is, however, extremely expensive. I believe the last time I checked it was $80 for a copy, which I had, and unfortunately had to sell because times is tough. Fixating on Gambit, Nightcrawler's amazing. Here's a fun note about Nightcrawler that you might not have known. Nightcrawler became the, oh, I forgot the title that they used for it, but he was Spider-Man at one point. It was, oh my gosh, it was such a cool run, but I can't remember the exact title they used for it. I have to figure this out. It's gonna bug me, because it was such a weird, interesting story, much like the Superior Spider-Man. It was... The Uncanny Spider-Man is what they called him.
Batman, you okay?
Yep.
I'm fine, Jim. Where's Quinn?
You own the Uncanny Spider-Man? That's awesome. I also love Daredevil. And that is completely unrelated to X-Men, but we were talking... I brought Spider-Man up. Daredevil and Spider-Man are two of my favorite characters for their interactions, because Matt Murdock treats Peter like family every time they meet up, and it's amazing. I love that. Talking about Marvel while playing DC is so funny to me. Which, here's a fun fact for you about the DC and Marvel universes. Are you aware that at one point they collided and had two entities that were so powerful that in order to prevent the universes from collapsing in on each other, they physically had to Franklin Richards themselves? And you know the end of Loki, where he's like holding the worlds together? They had to do that to separate Marvel and DC so they didn't collide and blow each other up. Which is why we haven't had a crossover since, I believe, the 80s, 70s or 80s.
You're needed there.
We're ready to go now, sir.
Or at least that's one reason.
Called Dr. Young Bruja. What does it mean?
Which?
It's Spanish for...
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff like that way back in the day. There's also completely useless and unnecessary things like 2D Man and the Condiment King. Which I'm sure you've heard Condiment King recently because of, like, the meme media that they put into shows because of the James Gunn cinematic universe existing.
Once I get to the cave.
A bat cave on Arkham Island?
I built it years ago. It's best to plan ahead for situations like this.
That lighthouse is so cool. And here's something that I think is super annoying. To my knowledge, this lighthouse is completely inactive after this game. and it
Bane
sucks.
seemed even more powerful than usual.
Love the memes of
Joker
Condiment
wants
King. Yeah,
Venom,
see,
and that can only be
Condiment
trouble.
King actually
I'm
was
hitting the
kind of
dead
scary
man's
at one
point
point
in
back in
Arkham
the
Road.
early comics.
I'll
I believe it
contact
was
you
in a
once I'm
Flash
back.
run. I mean, hey, if Bruce wasn't paranoid, that would have, like, honestly, that's kind of the whole point. Him being paranoid is significantly, it's never unnecessary. He's always right.
Recording name, alias listed as the Joker. In the room is Warden Sharp and myself, Dr. Young.
Is this another one of those boring psych evaluation tests?
Yes.
No, it's not. So, you're the famous Joker.
In the flesh. So, Doc, do you want me to look at the ink blots again? The first one is a kitten I had when I was a child. The second is... let's see.
Should have got a Marvel OC who I toss into the DC verse.
Funny. Now let's
Is that right? Let's hear him.
Get the jokes. Hey, Sharp.
I don't really do OCs or anything like that, but I have a bunch of original stories and content that I'm working on.
Every doctor that has ever interviewed you
Silly guy
claims a different
who
type of
gets taken
psychosis.
in by
Everything.
Harley and Ivy.
Multiple personality
Interesting story.
Well, the list is endless.
I do my best.
Well, I don't believe it. Anything can be cured given the correct treatment.
And you think you can cure me?
Oh,
See, I don't think she's... Here's the thing, Joker. Well, here's the thing about anyone, right? Anyone with any sort of, like, psychological issues, I believe can only... Personal belief. I'm not a psychologist or a therapist or anything. I personally believe that you can only help cure those, or have a shot at curing those, who want to be cured. If there's no part of them that wants to get better, they're not going to get better, and it's that simple.